boys and girls, we are proud this evening of this opportunity to welcome the First Ladies of our land and the Governor and his First Lady. We feel that we have been singled out for this very special privilege. We welcome Mrs. Johnson, Mrs. Humphrey, Governor Brannigan and Mrs. Brannigan to Columbus on this very fine evening and for this program saluting the architecture of our community. We hope that in this visit in our community this evening, you will recognize the challenge which we are giving to our boys and girls in terms of providing an educational environment which will set the stage for enriching the lives of the future generations of our community. It is because of your interest, Mrs. Johnson, in boys and girls and in the welfare of children that we think you will be particularly pleased with what you see here and what you have seen as you toured our schools and our community. We feel that this building which we're visiting here is not just a school building in which academic activities take place for a period of some 180 days each school year, but rather it's a work of art. It goes well beyond just being a school building. It will serve as a force for good for many years to come. It is our belief and our hope that by providing the kind of facilities that you see here in the Lincoln School and in the other new schools which we have in our community, that it will serve as an inspiration for a richer, fuller, and more creative life for the people of our community. We believe, in short, that the objective which we have here is to provide the very best possible education in the best possible environment. It is my privilege here this afternoon to introduce a number of our platform guests, and I would like to do that at this time. First, I would like to present the Secretary of Agriculture, Orville and Mrs. Freeman. Would you please stand? I would like to present the wife of one of our senators from Indiana, Mrs. Birch Bayh. I would also like to present our own Congressman, Lee Hamilton, and his wife, Mrs. Hamilton. And then Mr. and Mrs. Roger Stevens. And let me add that Mr. Stevens is chairman of the National Council of the Arts, and it is because of him that we have the program this evening out at the MacDowell School, the New American National Opera. Now I would like to introduce the architect of this Lincoln School, we consider to be one of the country's most distinguished architects, the designer of the Lincoln Elementary School, Mr. Gunnar Burkitz. The president of our Board of School Trustees of the Bartholomew Consolidated School Corporation, Mr. Herbert Hoover. The president of the Bartholomew Consolidated School Foundation, Mrs. Donald Jurgemeyer. And then the principal of this school, Ms. Marjorie Hooten. We are indeed honored this afternoon to have on our platform here the governor of our state, and at this time I would like to present the Honorable Roger D. Brannigan.
Thank you. Dr. Robbins, Mrs. Johnson, Ms. Humphrey, Mr. and Mrs. Stevens, distinguished guests all, and all of you wonderful people to stay with us here this evening. What a very delightful occasion it is, and what a warm welcome you have given to the First Lady of the land. It is my privilege to present to you a lady who has often been in our midst, the charming wife of the Vice President of the United States, Mrs. Hubert Humphrey. Are you going to speak? Indiana is indeed honored that Mrs. Johnson would choose the lovely city of Columbus, and in particular, of course, Indiana, as worthy of note in the art and architecture of the Middle West. Columbus is indeed a remarkable city with talented, imaginative, and generous people. They have found that it is worthwhile to foster quality education, a healthy industrial climate, and civic beauty, and indeed they have it here in felicitous combination. Many of the municipal facilities that you have seen were the gifts of corporations unafraid of intelligent giving. Much of the architectural beauty was inspired by private initiative. In truth, this is the glory of Columbus, and we hope you will agree. The next thing we must do, however, is to pause for a moment while we make a record of this occasion. It is my pleasure to present to you your own Mayor, the Honorable E.H. Klein, Mayor of the City of Columbus, and Burgomaster Extraordinary, who has a very pleasant duty to perform. Mayor Klein.
Thank you, Governor Brannigan, Mrs. Johnson, Mrs. Humphrey, Governor and Mrs. Brannigan, and distinguished guests. How proud I am to be Mayor of Columbus, particularly on this day, to extend the official welcome of this city to the two First Ladies of the United States and to the Governor and the First Lady of Indiana. I not only welcome you in my official capacity as mayor, but also as a private citizen who is glad to have you among us. It is indeed easy to be proud of Columbus, not only today, but every day. For here, we have found it is much better to strive for excellence than to be satisfied with mediocrity. Dr. Robbins has told you what our architectural program means to our young people and to our educational program. This excellence Dr. Robbins articulated so well did not come to Columbus by accident. It was here because the town has so many people of great vision. Here in Columbus, we find real evidence that a city that strives to create this environment and excellence attracts also the best in business and industry. It is business and industry that provide the economic foundation that helps us to make possible the improved services, beautification programs, and superior education that keep this city growing and alive. We think this city is the greatest city of any size in the world. And Mrs. Johnson, if you will, permit me to read this plaque dedicated to you, commemorating the visit of Mrs. Lyndon B. Johnson, who has rallied a new interest in beauty and culture throughout the country and who honored Columbus with her recognition of the community's architectural progress September the 21st, 1967.
generation upon generation of young people and their parents will pause to read this great tribute to a great lady. Mrs. Johnson, your own energies and efforts have been in good measure bent upon making America conscious of beauty. Beauty along our highways, our streets, our parks, our public buildings, indeed everywhere. This is one of the noteworthy accomplishments of our time. Hoosiers join in tribute to you as Mrs. Lyndon B. Johnson for your tireless work in this exciting field. But more importantly now, we welcome you as the First Lady, the lovely First Lady of our land.
Thank you. Governor Brannigan, friends of Columbus, first, may I say to you, to every one of you, how much I apologize because we are late. I know it's inconvenienced you. It's been because, we've just wanted to see so much of the Midwest, and every bit of it today has been so interesting that we got later and later every minute. We crowded too much into the day, and at this high point of the day, I'm sorry to have kept you waiting. Second, I thank you very much for that plaque. I am touched, and I'd like very much to live up to it if I could. I think every ideal, every good thing should begin at home, and you all are doing it here. It's very appropriate that this most remarkable school building should be named for Abraham Lincoln, for it exemplifies not only his love of learning, but the vigor of his pioneering. This school is the result of fearless pioneering of the kind Abraham Lincoln loved. It is pioneering into planning our public buildings, indeed our cities, in a search for excellence. Unless this bold new pattern succeeds, the alternative is a growing wilderness of haphazard ugliness. This school and this city have thrilled me beyond all expectations. For the school and the community which it expresses is more than the creation of beautiful architecture. It is the successful and pioneer demonstration of a magnificent idea. I am no expert in the exciting field of amenities in town and countryside, but I can claim to be an avid and devoted student. And after today, I'm a student who's had considerably more experience after this trip. And the more one studies what is happening in transforming our environment into pleasant surroundings, the more one's natural path leads to Columbus, Indiana. It's a fascinating laboratory for all students of community planning. 20 years ago, the new Columbus began with a citizen who had an idea and the determination through his company and his family foundation to help bring it about. Why did an industrial company, organized for profit, use its profits to give the community gifts that have made Columbus an architectural mecca? The answer is best supplied by Mr. Irwin Miller himself, who on the occasion of another dedication stated, "We would like to see this community come to be not the cheapest community in America, but the very best community of its size in the country. We would like to see it become the city in which the smartest, the ablest, the best young families anywhere would like to live. A community that is open in every single respect to persons of every race, color, and opinion. that makes them feel welcome and at home, a community which will offer children the best education available anywhere, a community of strong, outspoken churches, of genuine cultural interests, exciting opportunities for recreation, a community whose citizens are themselves well paid and who will not tolerate poverty for others or slums in their midst. I hope private business everywhere will take note of this testimony and see for themselves its documentation in this community and in the citizens of Columbus. The cities of today await the help of enlightened businesses. As in all benevolent cycles, one great idea gives birth to another. Here in Columbus, the school board, the redevelopment commission, the library board, and most important of all, a solid base of the general citizenry itself have joined in this effort with continued results such as we see here today. This American city of Columbus has been called the Athens of the Prairie. Ancient Athens, with its magnificent Acropolis, would, I believe, have been proud and pleased to have you so designated. And for myself, I congratulate and thank you as your fellow American for blazing a new path to the cities of the future. I thank you so much for letting me share with you what is an exhilarating experience when you set out on the path of learning something about what your country is turning into in the way of city planning, and you come here, you feel like you've had a shot of adrenaline. It's been a marvelous day, and this is a great climax. I'm very much obliged to you all.
Thank you, Mrs. Johnson, for those very fine words of commendation and appreciation. We certainly will take them to heart, and it is encouraging to find that this support does exist for this kind of a program. There are some other guests on the platform that I would like to introduce rather quickly. I wish we could introduce them individually, but time doesn't permit. We have a number of distinguished architects here on the platform who have contributed and are presently contributing to the fine architecture which we have. May I introduce them as a group? Would you please rise? And I would like to introduce to you the remaining members of our Board of School Trustees who certainly have made the school portion of this possible. Will you please stand? We are so happy that you could all be here this evening. The program will be continued later in the evening at another point. The program is concluded here at this time. Thank you for coming.